are super psyched about this guest with us. Good Lord, this is awesome. So we got the former singer of Sellsword, and this man is also a part of Silly History Boys show. Nice to have you on, my brother. An honor, man.
Oh, thanks for having me on, chaps. It's really nice to be here.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. And you know what? This shirt, I think this looks familiar, brother.
It does indeed. That's a fine choice of T-shirt you're wearing there, my friend. A fine choice. On brand. It's what we like.
I like it.
And we got to start off just being fans for a minute. You guys were, you and Sellsword were just awesome.
Yes.
Oh,
legit.
Thank you very much. Yeah. You are very kind, and the guys, they've got stuff in the works. So you haven't heard the last from Sellsword, you can be sure of that. So it's.
Oh, good.
Awesome, brother. And you know what, man? Just to, if there's any people out there that don't know, man, maybe if you can explain to everyone, just kind of what happened. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean about why I'm not singing anymore? Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, basically, and it's a bit rubbish, really. I've got a type of rheumatoid arthritis in my spine, which meant that doing gigs was essentially, it was killing me. It was just getting worse and worse every gig that I did. So I had to make that brutal decision in the end that for my own health, I couldn't sing in the band anymore because it was getting to the point where my legs weren't working properly. And then I don't know what it was, but it was just something about the energy. When you're a singer in a band and you're in front of everyone, obviously you don't think about it's going to be like tomorrow. You just go for it in the moment. And then I would wake up the next morning and I would pay for it for the best part of a week after a gig, and it was getting longer and longer before I was back and healthy again, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it was one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make because if I could get my back fixed, bang, I would still be singing in Sellsword if they have me back. They better have me back. But I had to make that decision, and that's why I left. So there was no bad terms or anything like that. It was merely just a question of my health or staying in the band, and I had to choose my health, if you know what I mean. So yeah, one of them.
I gotcha.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, no, I hear you 100%, man. And I will say this. Look, we are both big fans of Sellsword.
Oh yeah.
With you singing, of course. And I will say this, and I speak nothing but the truth, brother. No joke, and I'm serious. You are one of my favorite singers of all time, brother.
Well, you are a lovely person. Thank you, Stephen, for saying that. That was a very nice thing to say. A wonderful thing to hear, and I shan't be able to get my head out of the door next time I go through a room. Big head. No, thank you. It's a lovely thing to hear. I think I'm one of those people with kind of what we would call a Marmite voice over here. You either love it or you hate it, so it's very fortunate that you come down on the you like it side. So thank you.
I hear you, brother. Seriously, and dude, Sellsword. If you guys watching, if you haven't heard them, for real though, and I'm not even kidding. It is it's so unique. You guys are so different. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thanks very much. It was one of those the band we. It all kind of came about, Sellsword, originally, when Tom, the bassist, Tom Keeley, he saw me playing an acoustic gig with another friend of mine. And after the gig, he just came up to me and went, "Dude, we have got to start a power metal band." And how could you say no to that? That was where it came from. When we kind of all got into the rehearsal studio for the first ever time, I think we'd basically planned to do a couple of covers. One was Rainbow in the Dark, Dio, and the other one was 2 Minutes to Midnight. So we kind of, those are songs that we all knew, and that's what we were going to do. It turned out we had all learned 2 Minutes to Midnight, but Alex, the drummer, had actually learned a different Dio song, so he didn't know how to play it. We were like, all right, well, we've got one song that we've practiced. Now let's just write something. And we literally started writing stuff from the first session, and it all we just, when you just gelled, it was comfortable immediately, and we just all hit it off. And yeah, that's how it all kind of started. And I think because we started writing in that first session, it was, right from the word go, we kind of just decided the noise. It was what we wanted to do. We were in it to have fun. We never thought it might grow as, and it, Sellsword has got to the point now where it's not like a garage band anymore. There's more to Sellsword now, and that's a wonderful thing to think that it started just from 5 guys getting in a room to be loud together. So yeah.
Right. Oh man, that's so cool, man. Like, and by the way, I'm digging the mug, brother.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my my R2D2 coffee mug. It's,
Digging it. I love it. Yep. Well, dude, Star Wars, what's your favorite, man? What's your favorite one if you had to choose, man?
My favorite Star Wars one, I to be honest with you, it's got to be it's Empire Strikes Back. It's that's my number one, and then my number 2 is what usually causes a little bit of controversy, because I think Rogue One is my second favorite Star Wars movie. I think Rogue One is absolutely brilliant. I'm not a massive fan of the more recent stuff, I've got to say, but it's one of those things. I think if I was a kid now, then I think those movies would be wonderful and magical. But Star Wars growing up, it was like, what have they done to my childhood? That's how I felt about the more recent stuff. Yeah. So Empire Strikes Back. That's my favourite.
And mine too. Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Awesome, dude. Awesome. So, dude. Okay. So with Sellsword, brother. All right.
Yeah.
You chose the deep route, which is my favorite personally. Because you got the Maidens out there. You got the typical power metal. Real high.
Yeah.
I actually am super glad you went the deep route, brother.
Well, thanks very much. I mean, to be honest with you, that was entirely because that's where my range is, so that kind of helps. I'm a kind of, I suppose, kind of baritone tenor is where I sit comfortably, if you know what I mean. Which is, I actually grew up listening to Iron Maiden. I started listening to Iron Maiden and Bruce Dickinson when I was about 8 years old, and I didn't really listen to anything else until I was about 16. And then I branched out into Megadeth, so I wasn't really, it's just, and then it kind of grew from there. But I spent my entire teenage life wanting to be, a Bruce Dickinson style tenor. But yeah, it was always just that little bit too high for me. So I've got to say, when Blaze Bayley took over for Iron Maiden, I was like, oh, now this is more achievable from a vocal point of view. This is nice. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really, don't think of the Blaze albums as fondly as the Dickinson stuff. But I've always really liked Blaze Bayley's voice. And I think he and I are about the same kind of area of the singing key, if you know what I mean. So
right.
it was nice to have something a bit more achievable. Yeah.
Right, heck yeah, man. And like, you're talking about, I mean, Matthew Barlow, Iced Earth. I mean, him, like, that's
yeah. Oh yeah. No, they kind of. I've always, because it's kind of that power metal thing. You want to get a few of the kind of the high pitched notes in there, but I would never be able to hold that up for an hour on stage. I wouldn't be able to speak ever again. And secondly, I've always thought that those high notes have more impact when the rest of the song has been done on that lower key as well. It just makes, it makes it seem kind of higher and more impressive because the singing that's come before it has been, in a different area on the scale, if you know what I mean. I like that kind of drama and impact of sticking in those high notes.
Yeah, I remember I was just listening. I don't remember which song it was yesterday, but I noticed I was going through that song, and then all of a sudden you hit like this high note, and I took note of that, when you done it, because oh wow, that's so much higher than everything else.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think that's what it is. It helps it to kind of stick out a little bit, and especially depending on where you are with the lyrics, or in the actual part of the song you're in as well. It can just add that little bit of extra impact. I was always a big fan, especially when we were doing stuff live, of trying to get a good, nice, screechy high note just as they were going into the solos. So they're kind of it's like, oh, handing over to you, gentlemen, and then back to the singing. It's just a nice way of bouncing between all of us, if you know what I mean.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I remember, man, the first time I heard you guys, it was just obviously, I'm checking out new music on YouTube or something,
Yeah.
That was many, many, many years ago, but I mean, immediate was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is it's so different. It's not even funny. So different. I love. I've always loved lower singing. Always.
Yeah.
So
And I think the first time he heard y'all, he called me.
Brilliant.
You come listen to these. You need to listen to these guys. You know.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Immediately spreading the word. Thank you, sir. Good work.
Man,
Brilliant.
Very welcome, man. Well, you talk about Iron Maiden, dude. What's your favorite Iron Maiden song, man?
Oh, my favourite Iron Maiden song. Actually, it's "Hallowed Be Thy Name." It's just wonderful in every aspect. The vocal performance, the melody, every single bit of that song, the drama. Has had a huge influence on me musically. Just that one song, let alone the rest of their catalogue. But it's just "Hallowed Be Thy Name" hits every single kind of thing that I want in a song, if you know what I mean. So. And just some of the notes Bruce Dickinson hits in that song. Oh, it's wonderful.
Yep. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Well, so did you guys? I know y'all went on tours. Did y'all ever make it to America at any point?
Unfortunately, we did not. It would have been, I would have loved it. It would have been amazing. But it's one of those things. Music industry these days isn't, the most money-making industry, and we all had jobs, and we all had, people to provide for. So it's one of those things you can't get off. As much as I would have gone, right, my darling, I'm off to America for a fortnight with the band. I don't think that conversation would have gone down very well, unless there was a record company paying us to do it, if you know what I mean.
Right.
We're off to America. We might make some money. I'll tell you when we get back.
I got you.
Oh, it would have been an absolute dream come true. But no, unfortunately, as it stands, we've only toured kind of within England. But had some good times on the road, definitely.
Awesome, dude. And seriously, dude, just in general, look, 2 Sellsword albums with you, obviously. Mm-hmm. Genius albums. And dude, I'm just gonna keep going with compliments. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, Distortion, awesome. Drums, awesome. Lead guitar, awesome. Everything is awesome. Like the effects, everything is awesome. The lead, everything.
But I've always been really proud of is actually the sound quality of our albums. Considering, and the person responsible for that is Henry Mai, our one of our guitarists. He is an absolute whiz on the mixing desk, if you know what I mean. He just he put it all together. And with the second album, put it all together extremely quickly as well. It was. We were supposed to be launching it in, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be sometime in kind of September, and then we then pulled it back to early August, and so he just lost 5 weeks of mixing time. He was like, "Oh my god!" as he was putting it together, but we got it done. So
Sweet. Yeah. Heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah, man. All right. If you had to choose, which I think I know your answer, Iron Maiden or Judas Priest?
I would choose Iron Maiden, just because, obviously, from the age of 8. I found Judas Priest a lot later, but what's it called? Oh my goodness, it's Painkiller. Is my favourite of their albums. I just think it's the right amount of cheese for me, if you know what I mean. The right amount of cheese.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man.
I think all metal needs some cheese.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you look on the CD of the first Sellsword album, there is actually a little cheese motif on the actual disc itself. It's as part of the shield. Yeah. We often had kind of rehearsals where we'd go, "Oh, that's sounding good, but I think it needs to be made a little cheesier." So then we'd find a way to just amp up the cheese a little bit. So strong cheese ethic in Sellsword. Strong cheese ethic.
Strong cheese. I hear. What kind of cheese we're talking about now? We're talking about Swiss cheese. What kind of cheese are we talking about?
I'm an extra mature man myself. So. Lovely cheddar. Oh yes, lovely.
Yeah. I got you, brother. I got you, man. Dude, well, you live in the UK, brother. We're talking about food. What's your favorite over there, man? What do you like to eat, dude?
I'm very much a meat and potatoes gentleman over here, and which is a large part of the English diet anyway. Good bit of meat and potatoes, but that's where a nice roast dinner is something. I don't know if you guys you guys do roast dinners over there, don't you? Where you've got like roasted meats and all the trimmings and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Right.
that's my favourite dinner. I try and have at least 2 of those a week because my diet is so terribly limited. But it's all good. If it's got gravy on it, usually I like it.
Oh, yeah. And what do you have to wash it down with, brother?
Usually squash. I'm not a big drinker, in all honesty. I do enjoy a beer every so often, but it's one of those things, and I actually learned this during the years of doing live gigs with Sellsword, is drinking before a gig is just literally the worst thing you can do for your voice, because the alcohol dries your throat out so badly. And I would get on stage and go, oh, I can't hear any of the notes. So I had to literally just stop drinking at gigs, which changed the experience of them quite a lot, I've got to say. Getting drunk and playing a gig is a very different thing to being sober until you go on stage. Very different thing indeed, but worth it to put on a good show. Because at the end of the day, if you've got people there and they've paid money to see a show, I'm not going to choose to get drunk and give them a bad show. I'm going to choose to be professional about it, and that's I think very important.
Right. Just for clarity, I apologize.
No worries.
Yeah, we don't like alcohol. I apologize. I'm sorry. Do you like with soda or anything like that?
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, yeah. To be honest with you, it's very classic and it's very cliche and it's very British, but a cup of tea goes well with everything, in all honesty. So, lovely cup of tea. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well,
I hear you.
You talk about touring.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the fun things that happen during the tours.
Some of the fun things that happen during tours. Well, let's have a think. We never really had any major Spinal Tap moments, if you know what I mean. We did have one. We were doing a tour with Heidelberg, and it was the first night of the tour with them. And the entire venue just lost all power the moment Heidelberg came on stage. As soon as they hit like the first chord, the whole building just went into a massive blackout and there was no power. So that was an interesting moment. Heidelberg were too powerful for that venue. And it turned out it was something like, literally they just used too many plugs and the venue circuit breaker board just couldn't take it, just turned everything off. So they unplugged a couple of amps and then got all the power back on, and then the gig continued. So that was the opening night of the tour as well. So that was interesting.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a good one. I remember we went through a period of time as well with we had like the curse of the 4-way plug socket. That happened. We had this one thing, and no matter what, it'd be like the first time it was being used, and it would just die halfway through a gig. And then Henry, who usually had his like pedal board plugged into it, suddenly would just have no guitar. And we're like, what's going on? And then we'd all be like, it's the 4-way again! That haunted 4-way. Yeah.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man.
You replaced it.
Yeah. Every time. But, these things happen.
I hear you, man. What kind of mics do you use, man? Like Shure or... SM58 is the mic I use. It's my mic as well is quite kind of important to me because it belonged to a friend of mine who passed away a few years ago, and it was his. And so any gig I do, no matter what I'm doing, that's the microphone I use. Just so kind of he's on stage with me, which I always think is real nice. Yeah. Right. Oh, man, I respect that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's one of those sentimental value things. So I can imagine sometimes, because it's quite old now, this microphone as well, and it's a bit battered, but it's one of those things. So you see the sound guy kind of at gigs, the sound guy will see me kind of take out the lovely, shiny microphone that he's just put in there and set up perfectly, kind of furtively just undo it, and then just plug my own microphone in and get that ready to go. Usually with a, sorry, sound man, but this is what I have to do. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like sports people. They have their things that they take with them onto the pitch or whatever. That microphone's my thing. That's what I use. So I even use that microphone to record my Silly History Boys lines from a show that I do there as well. So he's always with me. It's really nice.
Right. Oh man, see, I'm glad you just said that. I was literally about to say, please tell us about the show, brother.
Oh right. So I'm doing a. When not in Sellsword, when not on the stage with the gigs and stuff, I have worked in one sort of kind of heritage tourism for about 20 years now, which is quite depressing to think about, actually. But one of the things that I do is me and a few of my friends, we go around to various castles in England doing kind of history shows for people and sword fight displays and all that kind of stuff. However, obviously, with the whole situation in the world at the moment, all of that work just isn't there, if you know what I mean. So we just decided that since we couldn't go out to people to do these shows, we would do a digital version, an audio show version, and get that out there to people. So that's what we are, the Silly History Boys. It's those silly people that you might have seen at an English castle at some point, just doing a radio show instead of a live performance. So, and instead of sword fights, it's just silly sword fighting noises. But you get the idea.
Right.
Yeah, Camelot, 'tis a silly place.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think that's what we have a dash of that. So you learn about history, but hopefully you will also giggle a lot while you're doing it, because at the end of the day we are very silly. So that's what we aim to be. But we aim to also have people go away having learned something as well, which is nice. So yeah, it's been good fun. We've covered loads of stuff as well. We've done things. We've gone all the way back to ancient Greece. We did Julius Caesar. We did like a 3-parter on his life story. And we've done things like William Marshall, who's often called the greatest English knight. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's quite a big man around here. Served 5 kings and defeated about 700 knights in duels and stuff like that. So he's one of those type of characters. We're currently doing Blackbeard at the moment as well, the pirate. So the first part of his story was out last week, and second part will be out kind of next Friday, if you know what I mean. So it's really good fun. We enjoy doing it.
Awesome, love it, man. Well, you just talked about pirates, man. You're an Iced Earth fan, man. Have you heard Black Flag? I love that song, man.
Oh yeah. To be honest, I've heard of that one, but my main experience of Iced Earth is which is the one with Gettysburg as kind of the Gettysburg. Yeah, that's the one. The album I enjoyed, but that disc, that Gettysburg disc, was on repeat for about 3 months when I first heard it. It's just, again, it's that storytelling thing. I love having a narrative to a song, so you've got things to listen for as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going back to kind of earlier questions. That little EP, that kind of that one song divided into 3, is a perfect example of where the high notes are used to kind of really hit home with the message as well as the lower bits. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's Tim the Ripper. Yep.
Yeah. No, he definitely lives up to his name, doesn't he? So what a voice.
Yeah, he does.
What a voice.
Yeah. So Iced Earth has had a huge range of people. But I would imagine you would go with Tim then, being the favorite singer. Just because I really like because you get some of the singers who kind of do the high pitched stuff. It can be a tone of voice thing as well. It can be a bit piercing. Whereas I always find his screaming wasn't. Yeah, it's more pleasant on the ear, if you can call it that, if you know what I mean. But it's more comfortable to listen to than some other people's, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, dude, okay. So if you had to name any newer bands, like power metal, etc., who's your favorite kind of newer ones?
Let's have a think. To be honest with you, because I'm the age that I am, I'm kind of trapped in. I don't listen. I haven't listened to a lot of new stuff, if you know what I mean. guys that we kind of did gigs with, there's a band called Dream Troll. I don't know if you've heard them. They're really good. They've got a good groove to them, and it's got I suppose the best way to describe it is kind of like kind of a stoner doom kind of feel to it, but it's really good, kind of chilled out, but they've got really good licks, nice riffs and stuff. So yeah, Dream Troll, that's who I'm going to choose. They're real good. Give them a listen if you haven't. They're real good.
Yeah, we'll give them a listen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for real. Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to think. There's another one as well, and I can't remember. Oh, what are they called? No, it'll come back to me. I can't remember their name. It's gonna haunt me that I've forgotten their name now as well.
I hear you.
Lead Robot. That's what they're called. Lead Robot. They're really good. That is actually a lot angrier stuff than I normally listen to, but it's kind of your good shouty industrial kind of stuff. The guy who sings for them, Richie, has clearly got a lot of rage that he needs to get out. But I actually know him. He's a lovely chap. But the first time I saw him on stage with Lead Robot and he started doing the screamy stuff, first of all, I thought he was a drummer, which he is, but he was the singer for Lead Robot. And he just started screaming. I was like, okay, I haven't seen this side of Richie before. Definitely check out Lead Robot. They're superb.
Sweet.
So you guys being over there in the UK, we just mentioned pirates. Did you guys ever run into Ailstorm?
We haven't. Did we support Ailstorm? No, we don't. No, we didn't support. I saw them when we were when we went to what's it called? Bloodstock. When we played at Bloodstock, they were on the big stage the day before. So that was like, but yeah, they were very good, very entertaining. There was a lot of blow-up things bouncing around in the crowd during their set. It was very good. But in all honesty, when it comes to kind of Ailstorm, I come down more on the Glory Hammer side, because I know that it's the same guy, isn't it? Ailstorm and Glory Hammer. Absolutely adore Glory Hammer. We're big is the correct. That is the correct level of cheese. This is what that is. It's perfect.
That's just the right amount right there.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yep. Angus McFife and man.
Yeah, but again, it comes to for me, it's the narrative as well. All three albums tell a different story, and it's just I think I think anyone who doesn't regularly listen to metal would listen to Glory Hammer and think, what are those idiots doing? Whereas I think, when you've listened to, all the other bits of thing that go on with power metal and all that kind of stuff, you understand just how clever they're being when they write their stuff. And also it's technically so impressive, isn't it? They're just wonderful musicians.
Yeah.
And brilliant. Love Glory Hammer. Love them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's actually pretty amusing. Me and my wife have this joke to where I'll scream glory and she screams hammer.
Wonderful.
We do that all day.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They're sweet. They're a sweet band. Yeah, I love. I love power metal. Yeah. What do you know, my friend, about Blind Guardian?
Blind Guardian. I've got two of their albums, and they're the ones I'm most familiar with. And I believe it's At the End of Time and The Red Mirror. Those are the ones I've got. Is that the right names for them? Yeah. The main reason I love is because it's got the Wheel of Time song on it. It's the last track. And I am a massive Robert Jordan Wheel of Time nerd. I don't know if you've read any of the books, but it's to have a metal band singing songs, and there's 2 or 3 of them on the album, singing songs about books that I'd been reading since I was 16 years old, and I'd spent 20 years reading all of them, and then to have this metal band playing songs, and we go, oh my God, I know what they're talking about. I've read that bit of the book. It's wonderful, yeah. They're really good at kind of telling a story with their songs as well. So I absolutely love Blind Guardian. They're brilliant.
Oh heck yeah, man! Yeah, they're my favorite, man. I actually like.
Are your favorite? Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. They I like their '80s stuff, to be honest with you. I just love my thrash metal, So it's
right, yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. I've not heard a huge amount of their early stuff, I must admit, but the later stuff would often be in whatever transport was taking us to the next gig. A lot of Blind Guardian was listened to in Sellsword. So
Nice,
Yeah.
dude. Nice, man. Dude, okay. So, out of the big four, who's your favorite?
You see, it's such a hard question to answer because I want to say Megadeth, I really do, but then Dave Mustaine is is part of Megadeth, and he's had his moments. But I suppose Metallica have had their moments as well. Yeah. I think I kind of just because again, like I say, it was the band that I went from Iron Maiden to Megadeth. I'll go with Megadeth.
Okay.
Just wish Dave Mustaine could be a little bit less Dave Mustaine-y sometimes. Yeah.
Oh,
I do have a big fondness for Metallica as well, but I'm kind of and Justice for All, that kind of era is my favourite Metallica. Black Album is great, and Load and Reload had their moments, but Saint Anger made me really sad. So it made me really sad.
You're exactly right about that. Yeah.
It's just like they started recording it, and then Lars realised he hadn't tightened his snare, and they just went,
right.
"Well, we've already recorded it now. There's no point changing it. Just leave it. They'll buy it anyway. Don't care." It was one of those kind of moments.
Yeah. That is the worst snare drum in the history of snare drum. Yeah. That's terrible.
It really is. It sounds like he's hitting a bin lid. That's what it sounds like. Boom, boom,
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Now, have you heard Lulu?
No, I've not heard Lulu. I must admit, I've not. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you what, brother. Like no joke. That's Metallica and Lou Reed. I'm telling you.
Oh, have I? No, I think I have. I have heard it. And I don't remember. Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. I don't remember enjoying it, I must say. Maybe that's why when you said, have I heard it, I just put it out. I'd suppressed it. I think that's what happened.
He's traumatized.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm reliving it now.
Yeah. Oh, that one, actually, honest to God, it's the worst album I've actually ever heard in my life, actually. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, fair enough.
Everything is out of tune, like on purpose. Weird.
Yeah.
Not really in time.
I'm all for artists making a statement, but if you're gonna make that statement, just don't. Just be in tune. Be in tune.
Yeah. Well, guys, what's up right here? Yeah. Classic, brother. Classic, man. But dude, I hope that. You still singing or,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still singing. It's one of those things. It's like we've had a lot of lockdowns over here in England. So obviously I haven't had the house to myself as often as I would have maybe, in previous times. And that's normally when I will get most of my singing done. But, I always like to give it a workout, at least once a week. It's I always kind of say, the voice is a muscle, and the more you work it out, the stronger it gets, if you know what I mean. So, and if you don't work it out, then you lose strength, and it takes a long time to build it back up. So, I know I'm a keen. Silly things like I'll be doing the washing up, and I'll be having backing tracks playing while I'm in the kitchen doing the washing up, so I can just let rip and have a bit of fun. And I always try and sing kind of a variety of different things as well, just to kind of, as I say, exercise all those different muscles. So, yeah.
Nice, dude. I love that. Yeah. Okay, well, if you had to choose 3, now all time, it doesn't matter what genre, 3 favorite singers of all time.
3 favourite singers of all time. Oh my goodness. Well, obviously Bruce Dickinson. That one kind of goes without saying. There's a chap called Steve Balsamo who is he's a West End singer. He played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, kind of early 90s. I think it was early 90s he did it. And he has just got the most incredible range you could hear. The voice is so smooth, it sounds amazing. He's an incredible singer. So that's my second one. And
Okay.
third, only three. I've got so many people whose voices I like.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Who's going to be number three? That's a real tough one. I'll tell you, actually, it's just because over the last few years I've kind of got into them. The lady who sings for Battle Beast, I can't remember her name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a voice she has got. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, what a voice. It's just I often find for me with ladies with kind of with that high range, again, it can be a little piercing. I'm not a fan of like a classic soprano, especially operatic sopranos, because again, I find it's like, sometimes they can be as technically brilliant as they can be, but it can be like nails down a chalkboard just because it's so high. But she manages to find that way of hitting those high notes, but giving it all that gravel as well that just makes it so listenable to. Yeah, she's brilliant, and I wish I could remember her name. I feel bad if I can't. But yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Battle Beast.
I can't quite pull it up right now, but I don't want to say a name and it be wrong.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I Google it, but we're talking on the thing that I Google with, so I can't. Norma, is it Norma something? Sorry, say that again, my friend.
Oh, I'm saying I'm very familiar with Battle Beast.
Yeah.
I just haven't quite got their names down.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think Black Ninja was the first Battle Beast song I ever heard, and I was like, this is outrageously brilliant. So there you go. Yeah, love it.
I think they got a good level of cheese as well.
Absolutely, high cheese standards. They've got it done. There's something about that kind of that Euro metal that sometimes it's like Hammerfall. That's another classic kind of like Euro power metal kind of band. They're very good. They're very good.
Right.
Battle Beast give me it's kind of a heavier Hammerfall kind of feel. It's good. I like it.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. I mean, dude, you're in Europe. We both are all going to say the same thing. We love European metal, man.
We do.
Excellent. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like just choose anywhere in Europe. It's freaking awesome. I mean, Black Guardian, Germany, Iron Savior was Germany, but I mean, it just keeps going, man. Look at Sellsword, for God's sake.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. You like Dragon Force?
Yeah. I don't mind them. They're a bit twiddly for me, Dragon Force. They're one of those ones that you sit and go, how do they play this? But it's not necessarily. I'm not necessarily thinking, yeah. I'm more thinking, how? It's just some of the noodly bits are just so noodly. It's outrageous, absolutely outrageous. But yeah, I can appreciate them for what they do, but it's not something that I'll listen to on a regular basis, if you know what I mean.
I got you.
I'll tell you another band that me and him both agree on. Another European band, Brothers of Metal. Have you heard this?
Do you know? I don't think I have heard Brothers of Metal.
Man, you should listen.
I should check them out. Brothers of Metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not heard those folks before, I'm afraid.
Oh, I hear. Yeah, they're awesome.
It's good, and they got that cheese, and they're Viking cheese.
Certainly sounds like they were Brothers of Metal. That does sound like the kind of band that I should already know about. Yeah.
I hear you, brother. I tell you what, man. This is a random question. Do you like Mr. Bean?
Mr. Bean. Do you know what? Rowan Atkinson, who plays Mr. Bean, I actually much prefer as Blackadder. I don't know if you guys have seen the Blackadder series. I've always a much bigger fan of that kind of comedy rather than Mr. Bean's slapstick, if you know what I mean. I think it's amazing that Rowan Atkinson, does that stuff, but I much prefer the kind of the witty banter of Blackadder over the knocking things over and falling out a window of Mr. Bean.
I got you. I got you, brother. I got you.
Oh yeah, I love Blackadder.
Yeah. Oh, you can't go wrong with a bit of Blackadder. It's genius.
Sweet, man.
And Monty Python, can't go wrong with that.
Oh no, absolutely not. Holy Grail is one of my favourite movies of all time.
It's like one of the best movies.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you can probably see a theme with our kind of whole silly history boys here, can't you? Blackadder, Monty Python, Holy Grail. It's that kind of, that's clear influences from childhood, if you know what I mean. I remember watching Holy Grail for the first time when I was like, I couldn't have been much more than like 9 or 10 when I first saw it. And just seeing the Black Knight scene where he's getting his arms and legs chopped off. And as a 10-year-old, I was like, what is going on? Why am I laughing at this? But yeah, there you go. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It is but a flesh wound.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, call it a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we're geeking out, like, I love Doctor Who.
All right, yes, yeah.
Doctor
Do you know what? I was scared by an episode of Doctor Who when I was about 6 years old, and I never ever liked it after that. I think it might have been the Tom Baker years, and they were in a desert, and there were monsters behind a dune somewhere. But I remember spending most of the episode hiding behind the sofa in the living room. And Doctor Who never did it for me after that. I was just more kind of a Star Trek. It was more my kind of sci-fi when it came to the telly. More Star Trek fan, absolutely.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah, we're just big nerds over here too.
Excellent. Well, yeah, that's. Do you know what? I think the wonderful thing is it's the nerds that are taking over the earth now, isn't it? So, huzzah, is what I say. Yeah, I think that's a lovely thing about kind of the heavy metal community as well, is that 99% of the heavy metal community are all the same sort of nerding out on banging their heads along to good songs, and it's just it's that kind of feel, isn't it? That's I've got to say, it's one of the things I miss most, is like just gigging. It's just such a shame that gigging was the one thing that I can't do as well. It's a band like Sellsword is not the kind of band that could just be a studio band. The band was formed to do live gigs, because if it was just a studio band, I'd have made a case for still being in the band, if you know what I mean. But I didn't want to hold the chaps back, and that's the thing. It's and once all of this nonsense is over and we've all been immunised and whatnot, at least we can then get some gigs up and going again. That's what this world needs more of. People make very loud music at crowds who enjoy it. That's what it needs.
Oh, absolutely, brother. I mean, dude, honestly, look, well, number one, I'm so glad that you guys are friends. There's no, I love that. I love peace, I love all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And also, dude, I will say this, no matter, I wish Sellsword, of course, no matter what direction they go, the best, but in general, man, like, you will always be Sellsword to me, man.
Well, thank you very much. It's a very nice thing of you to say. I've got to say, I'm kind of really hoping the guys do get a new singer soon, because it would just be nice to know that Sellsword keeps going, if you know what I mean. It would be worse than even having to leave the band, to think that my rubbish spine had ruined such an excellent heavy metal band, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, it would be rubbish. So I do hope they find someone new. And I think, in fact, it'll be really exciting, because then I can go to a Sellsword gig and be a fan, as well as, I can stand in the crowd and enjoy watching my friends make excellent music. It will be a lovely thing, I think. And I can have a beer and not tell anyone, because I won't have to do any singing. Yeah.
I hear you, brother. Seriously, yeah. Do you happen to know, like, are they? Obviously you're friends with them. Are they trying to capture your sound, or are they going for maybe more the high power metal? Or
I from what I can gather at the moment, basically the jury is completely out. They're just waiting. They're waiting until they find the right person, and whether that person's going to be up there or they're going to be someone like me, I think that just remains to be seen. But they're still looking, and I think if you check their Facebook page, you can see where to send kind of auditions and stuff to. But I think, you know, it would be really nice if they find the right person.
I got you, brother. I got you, man. Yeah. I just love that you're still friends with them. I love that, you know.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to lockdowns and whatnot being over, so we can all kind of, you know, actually see each other properly, because it's mainly just been kind of the occasional, "You all right? Yeah, lockdown. Yeah, lockdown." that's kind of that's the communication with pretty much everyone I know has been for the best part of a year now. So, what a time to be alive, eh?
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. Yeah, Sellsword will always be you, though, in my mind, man. Those two albums, I mean, period, you know. I mean, you know, that's just me, you know. But
yeah. Oh, thank you very much. That's a very nice thing of you to say. Thanks, man.
I mean, absolutely, dude. Like, I could just keep going with compliments. Yeah, man, I freaking love that. I mean, this one right here, dude, and Now We Ride, man. I mean, my gosh, man, that's in my favorites, like, of all time, dude. Like,
thank you. It was. I'd never released an album before, so and you know, having that go out and seeing it, you know, and people actually buying it and stuff, it was incredible. It was an amazing feeling. And then to have the opportunity to do another one, that was just icing on the cake, if you know what I mean. So, it's amazing to think that there's a record of my time with the band, if you know what I mean. And well, I will always be immensely proud of both of those albums. Absolutely.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Now, is there a live DVD available for when you were in it?
We don't really have we never really did a live DVD or anything. Obviously there's footage on things like YouTube and stuff, and there's some of them obviously have been filmed properly. I think the best kind of live record of us is from Bloodstock. They filmed the whole set for us, and I believe that's all up on YouTube and all that kind of stuff somewhere. But yeah, that was such an awesome day playing to that many people. It was brilliant. The tent was absolutely packed, and I think it was a lot of it was because we had promised everyone that there was going to be a trebuchet on stage, which there was. Shooting t-shirts at the crowd, which was good fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It was, I remember when we went and we borrowed it off a lovely man who lent it to us for it. But when we got to pick it up, obviously, had to show us how to use it and stuff. So, I had to learn how to load a mini trebuchet with t-shirts. That was a fun day.
That is so cool, man. Like, I mean, dude, like, yeah, Bloodstock, man, that's nuts because that's huge.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. It was. I actually like the where you camp obviously is a long way from the car park, and what I did was to warm up. I didn't want to be like warming up and singing and all that kind of stuff in the middle of the campsite, so I went back to my car. About an hour or so before we were due on stage, sat in my car singing at the top of my voice, and I was singing something with my eyes shut. I have this terrible habit of shutting my eyes when I'm just kind of in my own head singing, and then opened my eyes to see 3 people stood outside the car giving me a little round of applause, which was real nice. And I had to like wind down and go, "Sellsword, we're on at 4 o'clock. Come and see us in the thingy tent."
Love it.
Yeah. That was good fun.
Love it.
Those are the stories we love to hear right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I had to walk nearly a mile back to where the actual stage was. So it was,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Bloodstock. Yeah, I mean, that's huge. That's so cool, man.
Yeah. It was absolutely awesome. And actually, I'd never been to a festival before of any sort. So it not only was it like my first ever festival, but it was my first ever festival and my band were playing it as well. It was just brilliant. So yeah, we got there kind of like the Thursday evening, or was it Friday evening I got there, and then just had a lovely weekend with a really massive gig in the middle of it. So yeah, it was good fun, real good fun.
Neat.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
We're gonna play something like that one day.
Oh man, yeah. Absolutely, man.
We'll keep at it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Dude, okay, so I got a question for you, man. All right, because I mean, obviously, you know, you being an amazing singer and everything, but like, okay, Jacy and I hate death metal. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like, have you ever gotten into that kind of stuff? All that?
It doesn't do anything for me personally. No, I've said this to many people for many years, but I'm very much a tune you can whistle kind of guy. So you need to be able to whistle the tune, otherwise it doesn't really do anything for me. There are a few exceptions, where I often find where a band, they can maybe have the verse where it's all very growly, but then if the chorus goes into a melody, then I kind of soften to it a little bit and I can get used to it. But the type of metal that's just shouty, angry doesn't really do anything for me. I don't think I'm a. It's just it doesn't tick my boxes, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where, like, you can. Obviously, it's very popular. Loads of people love it, but not my cup of tea, as we say over here.
Exactly. We say that over here too. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very hard to even find an American metal band that doesn't do that.
Really? It's the kind of the most popular thing over there at the moment, is it? Yeah.
Right. Exactly, man.
Not even a clean chorus.
Just rage.
Yeah.
Just rage.
Yeah, it's like everybody's trying to sound more evil than the other guy.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's one of those, isn't it? To be fair, though, I have a huge amount of respect for the guys who can do that night after night, gig after gig. How they still have a speaking voice, I just don't understand. If I tried to even sing a chorus like that, I wouldn't be able to sing again for the rest of the week while my throat fixed itself. So, yeah. It's,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely certain techniques to do that.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that, but it doesn't mean it sounds good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see. I never it's hard. Like logically, I don't know, man. I don't. It doesn't There's plenty of bands out there that do all that, and it's like the music is so amazing and it's so melodic, and then you got him or her. It's not logical though to me.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Again, it's one of those. I think it's a very much a matter of personal taste, isn't it? For some people, that's exactly what they're looking for, and that's where they find their groove. And I say fair enough to them, if you know what I mean. But it's not for me. Not for me. Thanks.
Thank you, brother.
All right, not for us either.
Right. Well, dude, brother, man, dude. I tell you what, man. You don't have to if you don't want to. Could you sing something, or you don't have to?
I would, but like I say, my son is asleep upstairs, and I'm really loud. So if I sing, I'm going to wake him up, and then I'll be in a lot of trouble. So if it wasn't 5 to 10 at night, and I didn't have neighbours, and if it was the afternoon or something, I would happily sing something for you, because I am an inherent show-off and love singing to people. So yeah, please don't be offended if I say no. It is literally for my own safety that I say no.
Okay, fair enough.
Absolutely, fair enough. You're good, man. You're good.
Oh, this man has nothing to prove.
Nope. You're good, brother. Man, brother Stuart, man, seriously, dude, you have no idea how much of an honor it is to have you on here, and I mean that.
Chaps, to be contacted from across a massive ocean on the other side of the world and have people asked to speak to me is extremely flattering, and you are more than welcome, and I've had a lovely time chatting to you.
Oh, man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Yes, thank you.
It's my absolute pleasure, and I hope your show goes from strength to strength, and I look forward to seeing who you have on next.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. All right, man. I hope you have a great one, man. Thank you again, brother. An honor, man.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye, man. Have a good one, man.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Right. I'll see you later. All right.
The Henry-Kern Show would like to thank our friends. Kruse Effects, Slip Trick Records, Pick World Guitar Picks, and of course, Nebulous Music Studios in Royston, Georgia.